Microphone check 1 2. Hello, mic check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Silver J Media live on YouTube and Facebook. And welcome to our World Cup edition as we go now to the second to last stages of the World Cup tournament so far, where we get England, where they play against Australia today. England is playing Australia, and Australia has the slight advantage as they're playing home. The kickoff has just started, and Australia they play from my left to my right, and England is playing from my right to the left. Pardon me. As we all know, today's game is going to be a very crucial one, and England is going to play one of the most challenging matches ever in this World Cup because they are playing against host nation Australia. We all don't see how Australia struggled initially in the beginning of the tournament, and they have proven to be possibly the most favorite with one of their star player who did not start the very first two games of the tournament, winner Carr. Carr is being highlighted or marked to be one of the best players in female football in the world right now, and we see say in position at the team was great, and we can tell that she was missing in the entire Australian setup. So today is the semi-final stages of the World Cup, and England is playing against Australia as Australia is attacking aggressively. This England team has been playing very well over the past couple of matches, but they have been challenged by Nigeria, who actually lost to them by penalty. And we all know the controversy really around the England team in terms of their team selection and the amount of colored players that are representing this national squad. It's a whole national squad of 22 players, and we only have roughly about 2 players of mixed race heritage, and everything else that we've seen is pure Caucasian. But I think that is another day for another discussion in terms of female football in the UK. And we don't see exactly what has happened over the past couple of years in female football in the UK, as this situation has been challenged greatly by the one way they officiate the match. It really officiates the game when the Federation of England Football. So the English FA hasn't said much about this controversy, but at the same time, they have also made it clear that there are several reasons why they don't have colored players in the squad. And a couple of years ago, there was a huge controversy after 2 World Cup bans, or after the last World Cup. We get a full squad of maybe half size of the team were players of colored with dark skin and possibly of African heritage as well. But we haven't seen this happening this particular time at all. But so far, the game is just 3 minutes gone. and Australia is in their original colors, which is their home kits, the yellow and green, and then you have England in their away kits with the light blue and dark shade of blue. So in the lineup today, we've seen exactly what the English are going to be made of, because this game is going to be a decider for see exactly whether they will be going to the finals of the Female World Cup. Like I said, these two teams not able for beat Nigeria at all, out and out play. We see say Nigeria beat Australia. We go to the semi-finals so right now, and they are playing at home as the organizers are one of the hosts of this particular tournament. And then we see say England struggle for beat Nigeria in an out and out play, and they're only able for qualified to go to the quarterfinals by penalty shootout. So yes, the all the African teams are now out of the tournament, but I think they have proven to be not a walkover anymore. Now, when you think of African female football, you have to think about the positive side, not to the team way. Then they always say, "Ah, well, yeah, whatever." As this is the first time in the history of World Cup football where you get 3 African nations out of 4 we represent for going to the round of 16 stages, and of course we see say in the round of 16 stages now they all the key teams them come out. But we know say that defeats they not to defeat with disrespect. It was a defeat with pride, except for Morocco, we lost badly to France. So what we don't see so far is the fact that African female football has improved a lot, and we've seen the difference in African female football. But on the other hand, female football in Australia is slightly much better than the UK, because Australia has been performing very well in the world stage of female football, and we also don't see say England also they perform very well in the world football in the female football world stage. So basically, these are two strong contending nations. Then they do extremely well in female football. Like I said earlier on, Carr, who has been tipped to be one of the best players of the female football so far, don't begin for play within the past 2 games then we Australia don't play. I think she started off in the round of 16 and she played in the quarterfinals, and now she's playing in the semi-finals against England. So definitely we are yet to see her brilliance. Well, over the past few games the way don't play don't prove say yes she's capable and she's able to cause a lot of upsets in the opposition side. England so far hasn't been attacking that much. They spend the first 6 minutes to defend as the ball is now being knocked around by the Australians as they are still playing in their half. England now has the ball. They are chasing it. Lost it again to Australia. And a long pass all the way down the line to Carr, who is on a 1-2-1 now with the goalkeeper and lost it. A brilliant save by the English goalkeeper, and the referee and linesman gave it a goal kick. That was a brilliant pass by the Australians, and Carr was definitely on side as she was 1-2-1 with the English goalkeeper and she made a save. A brilliant save. I think the flag was up for offside. I'm not too sure. Let's see whether it was an offside situation or it was an out and out save by the goalkeeper. Yes, it was an offside position and the referee gave it to be an offside. So definitely it didn't work out to be what we were expecting. So as we all know, Australia has now been on the attack, and Carr, we have been on highlights for being one of the key player or one of the best players of the world of female football, has proven her worth. Definitely that was a nice run by her. Unfortunately, it was an offside position, but even though it was offside, she couldn't make it as a goal because the English goalkeeper made a brilliant save. England is now slowly attacking again as they're building their attack. They are now into the half of the Australians and they're knocking it around conveniently to be able to gain momentum. They're sending it back all the way to the defense and they're going to build it back from squad. But they have to be very mindful because Carr is a very skillful and talented player. So you have to keep an eye on Sam because she doesn't mess around that much, and The reason why she hasn't played within the opening games of the World Cup is because she was carrying an injury, and she has to wait for 3 games before she could participate in the tournament. That is a nice play by England, and they missed it again. That was a good save, a nice one-to-one. That could have been buried. There is no way you couldn't have buried that one. You have to take your chances. That was a nice pass as well from the England and the defense. Nice one-to-one, and you have to definitely bury that. Oh, Stanley didn't do much on that, and I think she took it first time, and she just hits it on the goal on the legs of the Australian goalkeeper, and they've now got a corner kick being taken, and is still up in the Australian half, headed out again, still in there, still struggling. The goalkeeper remains on a line, and Australia are struggling to clear the ball, and they finally did. What a defensive match so far, as we now see Australia struggling in their defense, whilst England have increased the pace of their attack. So the throw is now going to be taken in favor of England, and it's 9 minutes 34 seconds gone, quickly taken, and you have now the English player trying to attack in the Australian 18-yard box. Australia picked it up again, and a foul in favor, and a yellow card as well against England. A challenging and decisive match, a foul against Kerr, who I said earlier on, Sam Kerr is possibly one of the best female footballers in the world right now, and that was a definite foul by the English player. If you're going to be making those tackles, you have to actually make contact with the ball, otherwise it's a foul against you, especially coming from the back. So Alex Greenwood has been yellow carded, and we hope and pray that she doesn't have another yellow card if she is going to be defending against Sam Kerr. So definitely Australia is now building the attack from their half. They knock it down to an Australian striker. They knock it again to the flank, and is it going to be a cross? Yes, a long cross into the 18-yard box of the English defense, and cleared out again. And England has also saved themselves from another difficult set piece. Now Australia is on the ball again. They're knocking it around slowly, building it from the right, pass it on to Kerr. Kerr lost it again, and they're now knocking it again, and the ball goes into England's possession. Yes, the game is still on. Just 10 minutes, 59, 11 minutes of the first half gone. Both sides have made consistent attack, and both sides have hit the targets on both sides. So as we now know, England is fighting for their space to be the team that is going to be playing in the final against Spain. Spain won their match yesterday against that's a nice one-to-one again. It's been saved by Australia defender, and she kicks it all the way down to Sam, as Sam could put it under control, and it goes out for a throw in favor of England. Spain defeated Sweden yesterday by 2-1, and Spain is definitely in the final, and the favorite, who was supposed to be Sweden, has been knocked out yesterday. It was a very challenging game, and we've seen the attacking force of both sides, but unfortunately there is only one side that should make it through, and that was in favor. A long pass again into the 18-yard box of the Australian defense, and headed out by the Australian defender. That was a nice pass by Daly. Long pass, and she picked up the wing back, and definitely obstructed by the Australian defender, who headed it out for a throw in favor of England. The game has been very much interesting so far. Both sides are attacking well, and both sides are doing very well, and we yet to see any goal so far. The corner kick has been taken straight into the heads of the English, but it goes all the way across the goalpost for a corner kick, for a goal kick to be taken by the Australians. The Australians are defending well. England is attacking well. The last 2-3 minutes of the game has been played inside the Australian half, and the Australians have managed to defend their goal very well by not conceding any early goal so far. 13 minutes of the first half gone, and we are seeing the English side playing against the Aussie. And this is definitely not going to be an easy match for both sides. Australia is still in control. They knock it back into the English defense and saved by the English defender. And they're knocking it around slowly as they're gaining momentum, building their attack from the back. A long cross into the wing back and goes into the hands of the striker. Is now on one-on-one situation. Yes, pull it back, hold on to it. And she's now looking for support for more English players to show up. And she knocked it all the way back to their defense. Their midfield has been playing well so far. Oh, that's a failed pass. And it goes all the way out of play for a goal kick to be taken in favor of Australia. Well, if you're just joining us, thank you very much for joining us. And thank you too for all your support and everything that you've done so far as we are now heading to the first quarter of the first half. This is not going to be an easy match for both sides, and we are now going to see exactly what is going to be the outcome within the next quarter of the match as England is playing it all the way. That was a dangerous pass by the English goalkeeper. You have to be very mindful not to make mistakes there, or those mistakes should be corrected immediately. Otherwise, you don't want to be losing this match and conceiving a goal in the early stages of the game. So if you're watching, thank you very much for joining us this morning. The UK time is now 11:15 as Australia is on the attack. The referee did not give it a foul, and the game is being played slowly, and Australia is defending and attacking at the same time, and they've just got a throw in their favor. If you're just joining us, welcome to the show and welcome to another edition of Sheraton Media Live on YouTube and Facebook, and welcome to our World Cup edition as we've been covering all the games so far with the countries from Africa who has been representing the continent. Now that all of them have gone, we are now going to be turning our support to England. And a throw is taken all the way into the English 6-yard box, again back to the goal to the thrower as Australia is knocking it around, and that is definitely going to go out for a goal kick in favor of England. So if you're watching us, thank you for joining us, and share the program if you can. So this live commentary of England versus Australia in the semi-final of the Female World Cup that is just on the way. 16 minutes gone of the first half, and England is knocking it around. They are now on the attack once more, and a shot side netting by the English attacker. This game is not going to be an easy one today, as we can see both countries are doing all the best they can to at least get an early goal so that they will make themselves comfortable. But that was a close side netting by the English wingback, who did everything possible to get it on target. Unfortunately, she couldn't. And now Australia has taken their goal kick and they're passing it around. That's a foul, I guess. Yes, that's a foul. That's a foul against the Australian striker, the number 9 player, who is attacking well, and her name is Ford. Ford has been fouled by the English defender, and the ball goes out for a throw, or for a foul, sorry, in favor of Australia. So far, so good. We're yet to see any goals being scored in this match, and we are hoping that the English will create an upset, even though cannot be 110% in support, but at the same time, we live in the UK. So for the fact that we live in the UK, we are going to support the English by default. And I don't think, oh, that's a foul against the English player who I think was trying to get the ball very close to her head, whilst the Australian defender's leg was too high up, and it was a foul given in favor of England. That's a bad pass. That's a bad pass, and nobody was there for the Aussies, and it's just a missed pass that goes all the way to the English defender, who is the wing back, and they're going to start up their attack again from the back as they slowly increasing the pace of their attack. So thank you very much once more, and don't forget to share, like our page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to have any notification as Sarah J Media comes live most times on Wednesday and Thursdays, but sometimes we also have programs that we don't really announce. But if you are subscribed or if you're following us, you'll be able to get the notification as soon as we switch on the live button. England is now on the attack, slowly building it. They are knocking it around from left to the right hand side of the pitch. They have confidence enough, and that was a missed pass. It goes out for a throw just by the halfway line in favor of Australia. I'll have to talk a little bit about the English team later on and give you some few statistics about what they have achieved over the past couple of years in female football and why they have been tipped to be one of the favorites. In this tournament so far, we've seen possibly 5 countries that were choosing to be one of the favorites. And the favorite of them all was Sweden, and they are now out of the tournament as they lost to Spain in the semifinals. So I don't know who is going to be the outright favorites now, because we only have England is now on the attack. Are they going to make anything out of this? Fortunately not. Australian defended it well, but it is still in their half as the goalkeeper make a comfortable save. And the goal is not possible. It's not possible for England to score a goal, even though they were trying very hard. That was a nice 1-2 combination by the English team, and they lost it to the Australians as the English striker was trying to be tricky, but wasn't able to confirm the trick, and the trick was dislodged by the Australian defense. So as we now see, the Australians are doing everything possible to make sure that they defend well and don't concede any goal within the 21st minutes of the game being played so far, and we are yet to see what will be the outcome of this match. The referee blows her whistle, and she's asking the throw should be taken back and possibly further down into the half of the English. So it's about 21 minutes gone so far. The scoreline is still 0-0, and we are playing or watching the semi-finals of the Female World Cup. A foul against England. There have been a couple of fouls so far on this match, and most of them is against England, and they've already received a yellow card in the early stages of the match. So are we going to be seeing a lot of more tackles, or we are going to be seeing possibly less tackles? We don't know what is going to be the nature of this match. We cannot predict the scores right now, but I would prefer England to win only just because we live in the UK and we have to not pledge our love and loyalty, but also some of them are pledging their love and loyalty. The ones who are carrying, well, I'll leave it like that. I'm not going to say anything other than that. I'll just leave it like that for now. But as we all know, England is not struggling here today. They are very comfortable on the ball, and they are not playing any better than Australia, who is also playing the best of their games, as this is their final straw for them to be able to go into the final. That's a foul. No. Oh, that's a foul in favor of England, but the referee did not give it. And she's not going to give a foul against England as some car has just been hit on the chest. So this is going to be a definite decider for both countries, as we yet to know which one of the two countries are going to be going into the final, and we'll be playing against Spain this weekend. It's definitely going to be a challenging match, as we have Australia is now under attack. A long cross into the English 18-yard box, headed out by the Australian, and a comfortable save by the English goalkeeper, which means the scoreline still remains the same, as we've just played 24 minutes of the first half. England is knocking the ball around nicely. They're building the attack slowly from their defense. They're knocking it around from one side of the pitch to the other, and we are definitely going to run out of hours soon, so you have to bear with me. Let me just get my connections out as soon as possible before we lost connection. 1 second, guys, please. Thank you very much for being patient, and we're coming back in about less than a minute. Welcome once more, and thank you for your patience. We've just been saved by the bell as we were just about to have a power cut as one of the devices was almost dead. So thank you for your patience, and we're going back straight into the game as we now have we're going back straight into the game as we now have Australia on the attack, and they've just missed kick, and it goes out for a goal kick in favor of England. Australia are aggressively attacking the English defense. Is that going to be another corner? Let's just check quickly and see whether it's going to be another corner or a goal kick. Yes, another corner has been awarded to Australia as they are now having two consecutive corner within the past 2 minutes of the game. It's 29 minutes gone. The corner is quickly being taken all the way up in the air, headed by the English defense, knocked back down into the midfielder of the Australian team, and it kicks it out for a goal kick to be awarded to England. Oh, so Musa has given us a prediction to say Australia is going to win 2 goals to 1. Well, thank you very much, Musa, for that prediction. Hopefully, I don't think it will be the right prediction for this match because, in my defense, I will definitely want England to go through to the final. So at least the game should be brought back home. This is football coming home, and if football doesn't come home this time around, I think it's going to be very disappointing because the two teams that are playing right now have struggled to defeat one of Africa's best, which is Nigeria, and Australia lost to Nigeria, and England wasn't able to defeat Nigeria in an out-and-out play of 90 minutes, including injury time of 15 minutes each, and they only lost to England by penalty kick. So that has just proven that Africans are doing very well now in female football as the ball is being picked up by the Australian goalkeeper. That was a very long pass that goes all the way into the English, and they lost it to the Australian goalkeeper. And he's now going to make a big kick out, and it goes straight to the Australian and to the English, knocking it down again, building the attack slowly, knocking the ball around in their defense to the midfield. And they are now building it slowly again as they've lost that last 2 minutes of the match to the Australians. That's a missed pass again. That pass goes straight into the path of the Australians as the Aussies are now attacking 3v3 to the flank. Is there going to be any? No. It's a long pass that goes all the way across the heads of the Australian strikers. And Qatar hasn't been doing well so far in the defense. She has made a couple of errors, and those errors you cannot make in a competitive match like this. So she has been saved again once more by making a diagonal pass, and that is like a dangerous pass if you don't have the players in the middle. Australia is now on the attack again. Now knock it around, lost it to the English defenders as they're knocking it around again once more to start up their own attack. England is in possession now. They're knocking the ball around to the back. They're bringing it back all the way, and they're doing everything possible that they can to possibly score a goal. They are defending well. They have defended well so far, and I think they have had a couple of chances, and those chances haven't been wasted. Some of them were missed chances, but they've managed to hit the target like 3 times. And I think both teams are doing very well so far. The referee didn't give that ball as a foul, as Australia is now defending and knocking it around, whilst the English defender just got up and start to defend straight away. This is a very tight play, and Australians have managed to have more ball possession within the past 2 minutes as they're being comfortable knocking the ball around in their own half as they're slowly building their attack, and a ball is being knocked back into the hands of the English as they're knocking it again on their own, building their attack. This game has been very much interesting to watch because both teams are playing with high amounts of confidence. None of them are in a hurry to score, but they are taking all their chances and they're not giving it away at all in any circumstances. Um, so far, so good. Both teams have the confidence to play. None of them is scared of the other, and they've been giving each other maximum respect. And England has been defending well. That was a very nice ball possession by the English wingback, who I think is possibly likely one of the two players who are representing England as colored players. And that player was Carter, I think. I think that was Carter. And Carter has made a couple of errors earlier on, but I think she has managed to save herself from those errors. And she's definitely looking forward to have a very convincing and comfortable match, as James is yet to play because I think her red card ban is for only one match, and I think that ban is over now. But I don't know why she's not still been introduced into the first team so far. But like I said earlier on, the English team has been surrounded with a lot of controversy in terms of the amount of colored players that are representing in this particular squad. I mean, it is a great concern because the reason why I said it's a great concern is because over the past 10 years in English female football, oh yes, England has scored. England has scored and they're leading. They are leading. And Tony, the number 10 player, has hit the target and scored a goal in favor of England just around the 35 minutes of the first half being played so far. And Australia is trailing by 1-0 against England, who has had equal amounts of attacks on the pitch as well as the Australians. That was a careless defense by the Australians, and definitely Toon hit the ball as hard as she can right on top of the right goal post of the Australian team, and it is a goal in favor of England. England is leading by 1-0, and definitely I'm not saying that the prediction of Musa is going to be true, but I think so far England is leading by 1-0. I think James has said almost the same thing. It's going to be a tight game. England might nick it. Well, I'm not too sure. But so far, so good. England has just taken the lead, and the goal scorer is tuned for England, and Australia is now trailing at the 37 minutes of the first half being played so far, and I don't think the Aussies will be very happy with the scoreline as it is. After they both have a couple of chances and they haven't taken it, but England has taken their first, not out and out or not first clear chances, but a chance that we all thought was not going to be a clear one. Australia is now attacking once more, and she hits it hard and goes straight into the hands of the English goalkeeper for just another comfortable save of the match so far. England is leading by 1-0, and Australia is yet to prove their worth, as in try as much as possible to possibly get another goal before the end of the first half. Otherwise, they are going to be trailing by 1-0 at the end of this first half. 37 minutes gone of the first half so far, and England is still in control. They're still knocking the ball around. Australia is defending now extremely hard because they don't want to concede another goal. England is struggling to defend that one, and they got it out of the Australian defense, and they're knocking it around again. Like I said earlier on, both teams are very much comfortable with the ball, and they are not in any shape or form hesitating to build their attack from the back and take it all the way into their opponents. So that is exactly what England is doing right now. They are very comfortable on the ball. They are knocking it around, and They are doing the best they can to make sure that they win this match and book themselves a space as the finalists of the Female World Cup 2023 hosted in Australia and by New Zealand as well. So this is exactly what we were expecting earlier on, but now we've seen it very clearly to say England has more or slight advantage over the Australians because their records within this tournament so far has been great and they haven't lost a match to any of the other nations that they were playing against. Thank you, Maratu. I know some of you guys are at work right now. Definitely, it is a beautiful goal by England, and it is not an expected goal because the strike came all the way from the right-hand side of the goal, and it goes right across to the top corner of the goalkeeper's left position. So England is leading by 1 goal to 0, and Australia is trailing tirelessly to make sure that they have a goal in their favor. As we only have 6 minutes official time to play in the first half, as we are now heading to the 40th minute, no 40th minutes of the first half. So definitely we are going to see what is England going to be made of themselves as they are leading by 1 goal to 0 in this semi-final against the host nation Australia. Definitely, it is a beautiful goal. I'm not going to still believe in the prediction of Musa, but if Australia scores another goal, then Musa's prediction is slowly coming to life. But I would like to see whether there are going to be any more predictions on this match so far, as Musa has given us the first one. So it's definitely not going to be, pardon me, it's definitely not going to be a goalless draw because we've already started seeing goals. So except if we end up to have a penalty shootout, which I possibly will predict, but I'm not too sure whether both teams can afford to go into penalty shootout because it's going to be risky for any one of the two countries to be able to make a difference when it comes to penalty shootouts. We now know that England possibly can make it through in penalty shootouts, but we don't know whether it will be the same all the time. Sam Kerr is definitely a frustrating woman right now as she's been shown on screen while waiting for supplies, and she hasn't been getting more supplies on this match so far. So, James, thank you very much. And thank you, Musa and Maria, too, for those contributions that we've had on the chat so far. But I think we're still going to be expecting more as the game is just about to get closer to the end of the first half. It's 42 minutes gone almost. And the English goalkeeper is taking a long goal kick all the way to the halfway line and into the legs of the English midfielder and knocked back out for a throw to be taken in favor of Australia. Sam Kai's on the ball again. Lost it to the English midfielders. England is on the attack, slowly building it. Knock it to the flank to the number 11 player, holding on to the ball. A long cross, and the cross comes all over to the left back from the goal scorer. That's another cross again into the English half and headed out for a save. Yes, it is a save, but it was a foul. It was a pushed by the English wing back, and it was a decent save by the Australian goalkeeper. That was a nice ball, nice attack, and a nice save. If it wasn't a foul, that was a brilliant build-up by the English team and a brilliant save by the Australian goalkeeper. England is messing around with the ball in their half as the Australians are desperately looking for a goal in this match. They are knocking it all the way back to their goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper is passing it around to their defense on the left as they're knocking it around peacefully as they're building their attack within the last 3 minutes of this game. official last 3 minutes of the game, and I don't think there's going to be plenty extra time being awarded to this first half because we haven't had plenty stoppages so far. Australia are building their attack once more. They are building it aggressively, knocking it to the flank. And is it going to be crossed into the 18-yard box of the English defense? Yes, it has been crossed all the way and headed back out for a corner kick in favor of Australia. Yes, Mariatu, I know for sure England team, they really control the ball. Wish them good luck. Well, I will wish them good luck too, but I will also wish the Aussies good luck, but not for them to win this match because it is a shame because I don't think I would want them to go out like this anyway, especially to an England team that hasn't encouraged colored players to be featured in this squad. Is headed out again, still into the 18-yard box of the English and defended well. A comfortable save by the goalkeeper who came out and collected in the air as the ball was knocked down on the pitch. Well, like I said earlier on, there is only one player of mixed race heritage now representing the English, and that player is the defender who is Jessica Carter. Of course, Jessica Carter is a player of, I think, mixed heritage, so it's not definitely anything different. So only have one mixed race heritage player representing England on the pitch right now, and so far there is only two of them in the squad. We haven't seen anything like this in decades of female football in the UK, but this particular manager decided to have a squad full of Caucasian players only, and only managed to have a nice distance cross into Australian half into the 18-yard box, but headed out by the English defense, and they're struggling, fighting for a free ball in possession of Australia. No, they've lost it, and a throw has been awarded to England. This game is not just interesting, but also has been aggressive. Very aggressive match, as both sides are not taking any chances at all. That was a nice header out into the English defense as they are they're doing everything possible. Like I said earlier on, there's not going to be any extra time being added to this match as we've just gone for an extra injury. I mean, we've just gone to the end of the first half and we're going to have a break, and that break will resume shortly on that break as England is leading by 1-0, whilst Australia are trailing. Definitely, I agree with you, Maratu. The second half of this match is going to be very tense, and we're going to see a huge challenge and a massive pullout by both sides as Australia is going to do everything possible to have a comeback and make a difference on this particular match. Well, like I said earlier on, I was going to give you guys a few statistics of both teams, but I'm going to focus on England so far and see exactly what the English team is made of. Of course, their interim captain at the moment is there doing everything possible to make sure that the game is under control, and they are definitely not going to give any chances to the Australians to make a difference. They are currently ranked number 4 in the world. Like I said, they have been ranked in a very comfortable position as in number 4. So basically, that was as recent as 2023 in June. And the highest they have been so far is 2018, which was ranked world number 2. And the lowest that they have ranked in the world so far is number 14, and that was all the way down to 2005. I think that was just immediately after the World Cup, I think. Their first international match was played against Scotland, and they won that match, and that was in 1972. Can you imagine? That was 50 something years ago. Wow, that's very interesting. Very interesting. And their biggest win so far against Latvia, which is about 20-0, 2021. That's very recent. And can you imagine the goal score line is 20-0? I think we've had a similar goal score line like that in Sierra Leone. I think, was it last season or 2 or 3 seasons ago when we had like 100 goals being scored in about, was it 20 minutes of the match? A player or a team scored, I think, 100 goals against their opponents. But that match was played in the province anyway. And it was questionable whether that can be possible. And even if you're scoring 1 goal a minute, there is no way the match was playing for 90 minutes and they scored about 100 goals. So it is not proportionate for that to be possible. So FIFA was, well, the complaint was laid to FIFA, but FIFA did not take it through because I don't know whether that game was on record. But anyway, let's leave that for that. But the biggest win for England so far in the world has been a match against Latvia, which was 20-0. And that was 2021, just a few years ago. So definitely they were European champions. They came third place in Europe in the 2015 tournament. And also they had 9 appearances, first in 1984 in that tournament, and the best result for them was when they became the champions of 2022. So definitely the English have a very good record in female football, and they are ranked world number 4 at the moment. And the FA got involved with the English football team, female football team, when England managed to qualify for the UEFA Women's Euro 1995. So definitely it wasn't something that easy, and the FA were involved from 1993 to 1998. That was when the English FA took over full control of running the women's football in England from the WFA that was controlling the English game. So definitely for England, they are in a very favorable situation right now as they are leading 1 goal to 0, and we are definitely going to see what are they going to be made of in the second half of the game. So far so good. As they are leading, the Australians are going to do everything possible to make a difference on this match. And both sides are playing very well. Yes, I totally agree. But also, both sides have to be very mindful of conceiving any more goals. Otherwise, the result is going to change, and it might change in favor of either Australia or in favor of England. So those are the two chances that we're going to be looking at right now. And like I said earlier on, Jessica Carter has to be very mindful because they're just showing us some of the errors that she has made in the early stages of this match. So we don't want to take chances so far, and we have to focus on everything that is happening on the pitch and on her side. Good morning, Mr. Walker, and hope you're doing fine today. As the Lionesses of England are pressing the Matilda of Australia. It has the making of a good match. Yes, I totally agree. And yes, it was what a goal. A fantastic goal. I know Mr. Walker was just highlighting what a brilliant goal that was by the England number 10, who drove it straight past the Australian defenders into the top corner of the left post. It was a brilliant goal, and we're yet to see more brilliant goals on this match as we are waiting to start off the second half. Australia, on the other hand, are doing everything possible to make sure that they are on top of this game, and I think they are slightly struggling. Their captain, Sam Kerr, is definitely has been choosing to be one of the best players in female football right now at the moment, and they are ranked slightly below England. Their current ranking is number 10, and their highest ranking so far is being ranked at number 4, which is where England is situated at the moment. Their lowest ranking has been number 16, and that was between June 2004 to September 2005, and they did not stay there for too long at all. Their first international match was played against Thailand, and they lost to Thailand 3-2, and that was on the 25th of August in Hong Kong, 1975. So definitely, these two nations has been playing football for quite some time, and you can tell the difference in their experiences of what they've done so far. The biggest win for Australia is 21-0 against American Samoa, and that match was played in Auckland, New Zealand on the 9th of October 1998. Their biggest defeat was against United States, and they lost 9-1 to the United States of America, who was definitely one of the best teams in the world of female football. In America, female football is what they call football, soccer, and football is what they call the American football. So it's got a slight difference in the way they pronounce or in the way they refer to the two games. Football for the world is football, which the Americans call soccer, and football for the Americans is American football, which the world called American football. Kind of like rugby, but not equally the same as rugby, slightly different rules. And we are yet to see the outcome of this. And Australians' appearances in the Olympic Games was great. They had their best results was in first place in 2020, and they've won the Asian Cup. Their appearances for the Asian Cup is 7 times, and they've been champions in 2010. The Oceanic Cup, again, 7 appearances in that. The best result again is champions 1994, 1998, and 2003. The Southeast Asian Cup appearances again, they've done it like once, one appearance in 2008, and their best results against, they were champions in that tournament, and they have a very good record in female football in that continent and in that part of the world, and definitely they are now a team to beat, as they are trailing by 1-0 against England, who is now ranked number 4 in the world. So this is going to be a very interesting match on both sides. And in the World Cup so far, we've seen a huge amount of challenges of what has unfolded, and what has unfolded to the world is the fact that African countries have proven to be a side to be reckoned with. And most of the African teams that qualified for this World Cup, not most, all of them, all 4 of them won at least a match. Although we had 2 terrible results by Morocco and Zambia, but I think overall the countries that were representing from the continent performed very well, and they did all their best in this tournament so far for 3 of them to be able to qualify for the rounds of 16 stages. So what we've seen so far is the fact that all these countries have performed very well. They've done the best they can, and the best player for me in the tournament is been out, as in the Colombian Linda. We've seen a couple of magnificent goal scoring ability by some brilliant skills of young players in this World Cup. You have some from France, Japan, Colombia, and England. And those young talents have proven to be possibly the brilliance of this tournament so far. Well, as we can all see, this tournament has created a huge amount of offset in terms of penalty shootouts, and we have seen the struggles of some of the best teams that have made it to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and now the final. as we are waiting for England to book their space in the finals of the World Cup 2023. It is not going to be an easy match for England, as Australia is going to regroup, and when they are coming back, they're going to come back very strong and face the coffee whilst it is still hot. They are not going to take any more chances. They are not going to showcase like they are losing this match, but they are going to put up their best performance for them to be able to challenge each other to the end of the second 45 minutes. Female football in Sierra Leone is one that we cannot talk much about because I don't think it really does exist at some point. But again, they said the game is being played, and much has been said about it, and we don't know what are the possibilities of it going to happen again this year. We don't know whether there is any form of funding or any form of investment that is going to be made. We've seen the female African championship. Mabema Queens lost to a Senegalese team that was very much composed and organized. And that was not said by me. It was said by the people who commentated on that match, and the statistics that they gave was a clear indication that the Mabema Queens were not in any shape or form in the position to challenge the Senegalese team that they were playing against. I watched the Senegalese national team at the WAFCON in Morocco, and I think they've got talented, skillful young players, but they're still not yet matured for the game because they were messing around a lot. They were childish at some points, and they were not acting like true professionals. But I think they will grow in terms of their ability because they were still young and they have more potential. Now we're just about to start the second half of the match, and Australia is going to do the kickoff to initiate the second half of the match as they are trailing 1-0 to England. Second half have started. The Australians have opening up the beginning of the second half as they are now attacking aggressively to be able to score a goal against England. England don't have much issue at this particular point in time because what they do is to defend when they've scored a goal. So I don't expect anything different from that, as they are not in any hurry, as they're now building the attack in the half of the Australians. They're knocking it around conveniently, like I said earlier on, and they're going to start this all over again. No, they've lost this to Australia, whose wing back has knocked it all the way into the corner line of the English defense, and slowly bringing it back as they're building the attack all over again for a pass to be taken to the right flank and knocked into the part of the number 9 player of Australia, who is Ford, and Ford is knocking it back all the way to their defense. So they are slowly building the attack. They're slowly building it, slowly building it, as they're looking forward to possibly equalize the scoreline. Well, England has overcrowded their defense or their midfield. They are now playing 3-5-2, which I think they started off with because they want to make sure that the Australians don't have any chance on the ball, and they're building their attack with 3 wing backs. So a cross into the English half and saved by the goalkeeper. Sam Kerr has not been able to hit the targets, not once in this match. The only chance that she got earlier on was given up as an offside, and although she hits the target at that point in time, but it was a brilliant save by the goalkeeper. So Sam Kerr has to do something to change this match. If she has to do it on her own, she will have to do it on her own. Otherwise, she's not getting enough supply so far, and she has to prove her worth on the pitch. She has to tell us why she has been picked to be possibly one of the best female players in the world football, and but we are yet to see that performance. That was just a bad pass by Sam Kerr herself again, as she's just juggling slowly to defend against the English. We didn't see her in the opening few matches for the Australians because she was carrying an injury and she had to wait for about 3 games before she was introduced into the match of 16 and quarterfinals and now semi-final of the tournament. So if she doesn't make it to the final as a host nation, she'll be very much disappointed, and the entire team and nation will be disappointed to be knocked out of the semi-final. But again, it's not bad to be kicked out by the English, who are possibly one of the best in this particular game so far. They are ranked number 4 against the Australians, who are slowly ranked below England. So what we're seeing so far is the fact that Australian is attacking. Is a long pass being straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Not a strong header by the Australian midfield. And the ball goes straight into the hands of the English goalkeeper for a comfortable save being made and not being placed back into Sam Kerr's path for her to finish off. The Australians are going to be consistent in their attack, and they should try everything possible to at least get a goal if they want to be back on top of this match. And it's going to be a challenge because the English are not going to allow them to do so. Australia has been in control within the past 4 minutes of the second half being played, and they are comfortably attacking. That's a long pass into the path of the wing back, knocked back in again by the Australians as they're now attacking, slowly building it up, and lost it again to another defensive play by the English, and that's a foul. No, foul is not given, and England conveniently get the ball out of danger zone, and it goes straight into the part of the English defense, and they are now knocking it all the way down for a one-on-one, and a goal kick is being awarded. The goal kick, Punch tried everything possible. Yes, it's a corner kick being given to England at this point in time. I don't know how come the referee didn't give that, but that was a clear foul by the English. So yes, a corner kick has been awarded from Hunt, who did not give any chances for that ball to be played again by the English. England is taking their first corner kick of the second half, and the Australians are yet to defend this and to defend it well. Corner kick has been taken, goes all the way up in the air, right past the English and the Australians for a goal kick to be taken. Australia are now on the attack again for the second time. They're building it up slowly. And this time around, we don't know what they're going to do. A foul? No, not a foul at all. England is still attacking. They're knocking it around to the right flank, almost in the 18-yard box of the Australians. Headed out by the Australian defense, straight into the path of the Australian defender. And they're still not able to defend this one well. Is it going to be a clear kick out? Yes, it is. And it goes for a throw in favor of England. Well, so far so good. Bronx is going to take this throw. Is it going to be a long one into the 18-yard box of the Australians, or short one? Is a short one being taken, and England is still knocking it around in a triangle. And the triangle is working out very well for them. And they are comfortably doing that in the half of the Australians as they're knocking it around again, back and forth, back and forth. That's a long one, and it goes for a goal kick in favor of the Australians. So if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us once more. And you're watching Australia versus England as they're challenging each other at the semi-finals of the Female World Cup in Australia. Australia is one of the host nations alongside New Zealand, but New Zealand has been out of the tournaments in the first stages, and Australia has managed to keep themselves in this tournament so far as they're trailing by 1 goal to 0 right now against England, who is ranked number 4 and leading by the number 10 player who scored a very convincing goal as Australia is building the attack once more. They're slowly knocking it around confidently as England is chasing defensively, and that one goes for a goal kick in favor of the Australians. No, in favor of England, sorry. This game is going to be very challenging for Australia because they are not doing much to score a goal at all. And if it continues like this, I think England is going to be victorious and they will likely score another goal as the Australians are not taking much of their chances and they're still attacking and trying to build up play from their midfield. It's going to be very tight. Like I said earlier on, the English are going to sit back. They're not going to be in any hurry to score any more goals because they are leading already and they might be comfortable in that lead and they will not go into anything else. Except if there is another goal against them, then they will increase their pace of attack. But at the moment, they are comfortably sitting back. They are not in any hurry to attack. They will defend and then just work on their counter attack. And for them to do that, it means the Australians have to actually lose their guard as they're taking a long goal kick. Now it's still in play. The ball is still in play. Is the English going to lose this one? No, they are comfortably. They have won that and they are now in control. After Australians, we are in control of almost 2 minutes of that past 5 minutes that was played. 55 minutes of the match being played so far. So we've just played 10 minutes of the second half and we only have 35 more minutes to go to get to the end of this semi-final. And if the scores remain like this, of course, England is going to be victorious and qualify for the finals of the 2023 Female World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Thank you very much, Abdul. Of course, this is Kosa all the way representing. I don't know. I think many people don't know what to mean of Kosa, but I will talk about that one later on. For sure, we have to represent, and we have to represent fully where we belong. And it is not something that someone should take lightly. When you are a part of an alma mater, you should be proud of it as well. That's a nice save by the Australian goalkeeper from a straight volley coming all the way from the England number 11. That was a nice strike, even though it was challenged, and a nice saved by the Australian goalkeeper. Although it was going wide, but you don't take chances. A corner kick has been awarded to England. As we've played 57 minutes of the match so far, we're still waiting to see what's the outcome of this. Whether it's going to be a double score line. No, still going to be a corner. The corner has been taken. Oh, it goes straight to the side of the goal for a goal kick to be awarded to Australia. Thank you very much. If you're just joining us, please don't forget to share and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and like our Facebook page so that you'll be given any notification when we come live at any given point in time. This morning is all about the World Cup, and we've just gone. It's 15 minutes after 12 UK time as England is messing around in their half, and they don't want to be seen taking those chances at all, because the slightest mistake being made will be a total punishment for the English team. And as England is leading, we want to leave it like that, and we want to make sure that we do the best as we can to be able to get this game under control. Australia is attacking once more. Sam Kai's on the ball, knock it round, but the wing back wasn't there to pick it up, and the goalkeeper cleared it out into the 18, into the halfway line, and Australia is still in control, and that is a mix-up by the Australian defenders, and they knock it back all the way to the goalkeeper as they're building their attack slowly once more. Australia is doing everything possible right now to make sure that they get on top of this game as they're slowly building up their attack. It's the same way as the English are defending very tightly. England is not in any hurry to attack. All they're doing right now is just defend, defend, and defend. Qatar has been defensively playing well, but oh, that's a bad ball. But definitely, these guys are very strong. They attack, tackle, and get up and go. I don't know why sometimes people feel pity for the women game, but I think the challenges that they have been faced with is equally the same. Just like the men, a long kick, and definitely no Australian was at the end of that score. I mean that pass, as it goes for a throw in favor of England. So England is still leading by 1-0 as they are taking a throw very close into their own half. Australia has been in possession for the past 5 minutes, and they've been attacking for the past 10 minutes of the match, as England is just spending their time defending, which I think is not a perfectly good idea, as the ball was brought down by the number 9 striker and crossed into the 18-yard box of the English defense and knocked around again by the Australians, and another second cross again straight into the part of the Australians. They've lost it, and they're on the attack again once more. Nice 1-2 play. Is it gonna be? Oh, is a corner kick? Is it gonna be a corner kick? Yes, it is a throw in favor of the Australians. Their manager is up, giving them all the applause that he wanted to give them, and England fans are still celebrating with the beers in their hand as usual, as Australia is slowly building the attack again. Nicely crossed into the 18-yard box of the English and cleared out again by the England defender. The ball comes straight again into the legs of the English defenders, and they are now building their attack from scratch again as they are now into the half of the Australians. What are they going to do with this? Are they going to continue to attack, or they're going to knock it back all the way and start all over again? Well, we don't know yet whether that is what they're going to do, as Australians are sitting back and waiting for the English to come, and the English is not in any hurry to attack as they are knocking the ball around conveniently in the 62nd minute of the match being played so far. They lost it again to Australia, knock it all the way to Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr is doing 1v2, dribbling 1v2 and a shot. Yes, it's a magnificent goal. Magnificent goal. Just like I said earlier on, Sam Kerr has proven to be definitely the best player in female football so far. That was a 1v2, and you can definitely tell she is a talent. She is definitely a talent. That goal came from nothing. That goal came from nothing. Like I said earlier on, she has to prove to the world today that she is definitely the best player in female football, and that is practically what she just delivered. 1v3, and that was a shot just 20 yards or 10 yards out of the 18-yard box, and she drove it right past the English goalkeeper for a top corner equalizer goal. Magnificent goal it was. Definitely, this is possibly going to be one of the best goals of the tournament. There is no way you can get closer to this particular ball as she drove it all the way past the English goalkeeper that was slight years away from her goal line. Definitely, she has proven to be one of the best female players in the world. Definitely, that was a brilliant goal. As much as I don't want them to win this match, but that goal is a magnificent goal. Sam Kerr has proven it again once more, why she has been tipped to be the world's best female player, and that goal is very closer to one of the Messi's goals that you can see. Brilliant goal so far. Brilliant goal being scored by Sam Kerr, and she has now given her team a leg to stand on as they are attacking aggressively. Like I said earlier on, England should not be comfortably sitting on the. They have now attacked again, same on Sam Kerr, and Carter was very hard on that ball, and she managed to stop Sam Kerr from driving another danger pass into the part of the English defense. It's now 1-1, 65 minutes gone of the match being played so far, and Sam Kerr has made it an equalizer, and the game is on. Australia is now taking their corner kick, saved by Qatar. What is the referee giving right now? Obstruction by who? The referee is talking to who? Catley and the English defender. Game is on. Definitely. This is what you call a goal. An interesting match so far. A corner being taken again right into the 18-yard box of the English defender and punched out by the goalkeeper. Australia are still in control. Again, knock it into the half again. Slightly defended well by the English. Knock it down by the Australians. And they're building it back again from scratch. A very interesting match so far. Like I said earlier on, the ball is in the half. Headed out by Sam Kerr for a comfortable save by the English goalkeeper. England is under pressure at the moment, and they definitely should come out of this. And Sam should not be given any opportunity, like she's been in total control of the match within the past 10 minutes. So they have to be very mindful of her and not allow her to be very comfortable. Wow, yes, this is a brilliant goal. Memunatu, I know you're saying wow. I know you're watching and you can actually tell the brilliance of Sam Kerr. It's definitely a magnificent goal being scored. Well deserved, but England to win, I said it. Send a second half this game go wham. Indeed, the game is very hot-tempered right now, but I still come back to the prediction of Musa. We say this goal might end 2-1 in favor of Australia. Well, like I said, if Australia managed to score a goal, then Musa's prediction is slightly on track. Slightly on track, but I'll differ. It will be 2-1 in favor of England, not in favor of Australia. So, Musa, I slightly will challenge that prediction of yours. And if you're still watching, please give us some more comments so that we know that your predictions still stand. So far, so good. It's 67 minutes of the match being played, and England won, Australia won. A very decisive and challenging match, and we are definitely going to see the outcome within the next 15 minutes of what this match is going to be made of. Sam Kerr has proven to be one of the best players in the world, and she just made it possible as England is now on the attack again once more. Oh, that was a close call. Right across the goalpost. Right across the goalpost. And nobody was there to finish it off for England. And that was a nice chip. Very close to the goalpost. And nobody was there at the end of it, as the goalkeeper couldn't save it at all. That was a clear chance by England. And we are watching to see what is going to be the outcome of this match. So Memuna to say, no, Maria to England go win at the end, then just need for regroup. Well, it's not just about regrouping, but they have to rebuild their attack again once more like they did in the first half. They have all the disadvantage against them today because they are playing against the host nation, as they are now attacking once more with the kick being saved. Just goes wide, slightly wide, and the Australian goalkeeper wasn't able to make a save on that, as the England has increased their chances of scoring another goal, and that was very close, very close. That was a very close call and a straight header by the English striker, and he goes out for a goal kick in favor of Australia. Australia has taken the goal kick quickly and strike it very strongly into the path of Sam Kerr, but the English goalkeeper was out on time to actually collect it and start the build-up again by the English. This is a very interesting match, and what we are seeing so far is talents being exposed, talents being displayed, and talents being challenged. That is exactly what I would say on this particular match, and we are yet to see the last 20 minutes of this match being played, as Australia is defending again in their own half, as England has managed to score a poor defensive play by the Australians, and definitely Sam Kerr is a disappointing woman looking at the outcome of that replay, and definitely is a massive defensive blunder by the Australians. A massive defensive blunder by the Australians, and that should not happen. Definitely, that should not happen. I don't know what they were doing there. I don't know why they were pussyfooting around with that ball. It should have been a clear defense. The goalkeeper came out, and the Australians were messing around, and the English defense striker did not take any chances, as she was focusing on the ball more than anything else. The goalkeeper actually tried to make a save, but couldn't, as you don't give chances like this. You don't give chances like this at all. So like I said, England is on the lead again. So we have definitely, Musa, your prediction is now out of the table, as England is leading by 2-1. So I said it will be the other way around, and it might be the end of it, as Australia is now on the attack again once more, and the ball hits the English defender for a goal kick, or no, for a corner kick that is awarded to England. To Australia. This match is going to be interesting. Second half was predicted to be hot, and second half is warm. It's super hot right now, as England is leading again by 2-1. And Australia is going to trail the next 20 minutes or the next 18 minutes of this match as they are 1 goal behind. So Australia is going to take the corner. The awaiting corner that is going to be a decisive one. We don't know yet. The corner is going to be taken. Is the referee ready for it? Yes, the referee is ready. The corner is being taken straight into the part of the English and the Australian, and it goes out for a goal kick in favor of England. This is not just getting hot, it's getting hotter. It's really getting hotter. It's getting hotter. England is leading by 2-1. And we can see the brilliance of that goal scored by Sam Kerr. It's definitely a brilliant goal, but her team is still trailing by 2-1. And you can actually tell how frustrated she was when she saw that defensive blunder by her defense. You definitely don't want that to happen in a match like this. That is a very strong decider. So everybody is now being played to Sam Kerr, who is definitely going to make a difference in this match. They are now going to attack once more, and they've lost it to the English. And is he going to be defended well again by them? Yes, a foul being given to us to England. I bet the English are not going to start playing the English game by falling around, wasting time, which is not going to be something that is impossible anyway. Well, I think they should. That's a foul, definitely, against Australia. That's a foul. Right, this is going to be interesting as the ball is being knocked all the way down into the Australian half for a goal kick to be taken by the goalkeeper. Quickly taken. No. That was the last bit of my coffee. And a goal kick clearance by the Australian goalkeeper all the way into the halfway line, headed out by the English defender, and a throw is being awarded to Australia. They are going to take it quickly. 75 minutes of the match being played so far. 15 more minutes to go of the decisive semi-final between Australia and England, as Australia is trailing by 1 goal, and the scoreline is Australia 2. Now, Australia 1, England 2. I'm not going to be making that sort of mistake. It's not a mistake anyway. I was just trying to mess around. And Musa's prediction is out of the way right now as Australia is attacking once more, and the ball goes straight into the path of the English midfielder, and she knocks it round into the corner post, and the ball is still in play. Australians are going to be mindful not to concede another goal right now, as they are not paying much attention to the referee. You should play, you should not stop until you hear the referee's whistle. And Australia has been messing around in making such decision. Well, if England happens to go through to the final, whether they happens to go through to the final or not, the final is definitely going to be covered by us, as it is the last game of the tournament so far, and we are going to showcase that one because it is the final, and England is now on the attack again, 1-on-3. She calls for backup arrives, and she strikes it very hard for a corner kick awarded to England at the 76th minute of the match. So we are still seeing England on the attack, and I was expecting this match to have gone all the way into the end of the first half as 1-1, or second half as 1-1, and then possibly have an extra 15 minutes and maybe going to a penalty shootout. But it looks like the penalty shootout is not going to happen right now, as England is leading by 2-1. And we are just about to see the corner by the English and headed out by England for a goal kick in favor of Australia. The English captain had a strong header on that one, but she lost it as it goes wide for a goal kick. So this game is a very challenging decider for the Australians as they knock it all the way to the right flank and they're going to drive it into the half of the English, and they tried to pass it across but lost it, so Australia still in possession, and a chip over the bar, oh, not over the bar, the chip over the head of the English and Australian, but England just headed back down into the path of the English player, and they are now in control. So far, so good. England is defending, and like I said, they are not in any hurry. They are going to remain to be the favorites to win this match, and the Australians have to prove it to the world that they have what it takes to go into the final of this tournament, not just because they are the host nation, but because they are capable and have the skills and ability to get their team to the final of the Female World Cup, hosted by them and New Zealand. So thank you very much once for all your comments, and I think it's been very much interesting to have this sort of discussion online, as we have all the women against, no, not all the women against, as we have all the women in favor of England winning this match, even though Musa made an early prediction, and that prediction is gone out of the way now. As I said, it will be the other way around. So that is what it is. England is leading by 2-1, and Australia is trailing. So Musa's prediction was Australia is going to be victorious by 2-1, and I said it will be the opposite, and we are now faced with the opposite, except otherwise. That's a nice cross into the 6-yard box of the Australian goalkeeper's line, and a foul? No, I thought it was a carried. It was carried the ball by the goalkeeper, but because the ball was still in the hands of the goalkeeper, who was trying to, substitution is about to be made by who? The Australians. Number 10 is coming on. Number 10 for the Australian is coming on, and number 4 is being taken out. So basically, the Australians are going to have an attacking player on the pitch, and the attacking player is going to be replaced. Is replacing the number 4 player who was a defender. So that has been the nature of the game so far, and the substitution for that particular match is the fact that Van is coming on, and the player substituted is Claire. So that's a throw in favor of Australia, no, in favor of England, as Qatar is about to take the throw. Qatar has performed extremely well in the second half so far. She hasn't made any kind of technical errors, and she has maintained her position of defending Sam Smith. She's taking her time to take the throw, and if she doesn't, the referee is going to yellow card her for delay, and she took it straight away as the ball falls back straight into the path of the Australians as they're building their attack from the left-hand corner. Yes, the ball is still in play, and England kicked it out for a throw. As the throw is going to be quickly taken, yes, Australia is defending it now. They're knocking it around. Oh, that was a poor header by Sam Carr, who just definitely headed the ball over the crossbar, and she could have hit it That was a nice cross. Nice cross. And that could have been an equalizer. That could have definitely been an equalizer. And she just headed it over the crossbar. She could have just headed it down for an equalizer. But that was an unfortunate situation. And Australia is now in possession once more as Sam Khan knocks it to the right. Is it going to be a chance? Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper and cleared out by the English defense. And they're still struggling with it. And blocks by the Australian for a throw. Being awarded to England. That was a nice play by the Australians. Knocked out very well by the goalkeeper into the part of their English defense and cleared out again by the English defense as you have an Australian waiting at the end of that particular save. It was a brilliant save by the goalkeeper and it lands straight into the parts of Qatar, who clears it out, and the ball now is in play again. England is trying to clear that one out, and it goes out for a throw in favor of Australia. Interesting save so far. 83 minutes of the match being played. 7 more minutes to play apart from extra time being added. We don't know what's or how much extra time is going to be added onto this match. Well, I don't know much about that, Mariatu, but I will believe what you've just said. That's another try, a decent try, blocked by the English defender, and it goes out for a corner kick in favor of Australia. Mariatu said England is going to win this match as they will play tactically, then coach good. Well, yes, she has proven to be a very good coach, but to me, you can be good, but leaving out all the colored players out of the team, to me, is not a comfortable situation. For me. A corner kick is being taken straight into the path. Oh! Carr has got 2 possible chances and she couldn't bury them at all. Definitely this game is not going to be in their favor anymore. It is not going to be in their favor anymore because she has had 2 possible chances, and this one is right in the 6-yard box. She was on her own and she couldn't keep it down. It's definitely not going to be their day today, as we only have 5 minutes to play plus injury time to be added. We don't know how much injury time is going to be added on this match, as Australia is still on the attack. They are rapidly attacking England as they are not taking any chances at all. The only chance they are taking right now is to score a goal, a long pass again into the part of the Australians in the 18-yard box of the English, and Australia has defended it well again in the midfield as England is in possession. Australia are defending. England is on the position once more, attacking well, and a nice drive. The goalkeepers remain in goal, and England is leading by 3 goals to 1. It's over. It is definitely over. It is definitely over. Definitely over. Australia did not take their chances, and England definitely has taken their chances once more by increasing the goal line to 2. Case closed. Agreed. Case closed indeed. But it is not over yet. Until the last whistle is blown, anything can happen. So that was another defensive blunder by the Australians, as they had 4 defenders against 3 English attackers, and that was a direct pass straight into the paths of the 3 defenders, and they've lost it all for an out-and-out English victory, which is 3-1 as it stands right now. That was a nice goal being taken by the number 23 player of England, and she has just increased the score line for England, and England is now leading by 3 goals to 1. Case closed. Case closed. It's now over. As it is over, you can now see the disappointment in Sam Carr's face as she bows her head down and she best definitely believe this is over. I don't see the Australians performing any miracle here. Definitely not. They're not going to be able to do anything different from what they have tried to do within the past 45 minutes of the second half. England is definitely going to the final of the Female World Cup. Even though I am not happy about the team's selection, even though I'm not happy about the team's lineup, but I'm definitely convinced that they will do well. Not sure against the Spanish, but it is going to be a decisive match come Sunday that they are going to be playing the final. Australia has lost it. It's now 3-1 in favor of England, and I don't see England losing it at all in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, especially with the kind of way they've been defending, and they have nothing to lose anymore. They have no option to attack as they're leading by 2 goals in their favor. Australia now has to do everything possible to make sure that they possibly get another goal if they can, which will keep the game into high tension. But like they said earlier on, the second half is going to be hot, and it has been extremely hot so far, as we've seen some of the chances being lost by the Australians, and England has taken their chances. A throw, a header into the English part, and headed out for a throw to the Australians. This game is over as far as I know so far. I don't see England losing this match at all, as we are now going into the final minutes of the 90th minute of the match being played. So far is 89 minutes 22 seconds 23 as England is about to make a change. Number 3 is coming on and number 10 is coming out of the pitch, and England is going to make another change. The goal scorer is going to be replaced by a defender, and I think it is going to be in the favor of England. Yes, Memuna, I know you're all happy. Everybody's happy about the results so far. England is winning by 3 goals to 1. I am happy but not convinced with the team selection. I'm going to highlight that as much as I can because we are living in a cosmopolitan country that is full of colored and players of ethnic minorities all over the English league. But we're yet to see a full-blown colored representation by this English team. Very unusual with the men's game, and we've just seen that 6 minutes is being added. It's been added onto this match, and we only have 6 more minutes for Australia to decide their fate. Well, I would say their performance hasn't been bad so far. They have tried and managed to be where they are, and they have proven to be performing very well in their capacity, but they haven't been able to defeat England, that hasn't been able to defeat Nigeria in an out-and-out field play, except on penalty shootouts. And Australia definitely lost to Nigeria 3-2, as they were all on the same group. So Australia is trailing, and almost 2 minutes of the extra 6 minutes added time has gone, and I don't think the Aussies will be able to equalize these 2 goals in the next 4 minutes. It's not going to be possible, and I don't see that happening at all, especially against this English team, as the Australians are attacking once more. Is it going to be a decisive attack? Is anything going to be awarded for that? No, nothing awarded so far, and the referee continues the play. As the play continues as well, the ball is being hit against the English defender, and England is defending extremely well, and they've been defending well so far in this match. Yes, you're right, Mariatu. That was what I've been emphasizing here all this while, and that is one of the reasons why I am not in total support of the England team, because before, like you said, there used to be many black players representing. When I say black players, I'm not talking about mixed race players. I'm talking about black players with darker skins, possibly of African descent. And we're not saying that it should be like that all the time, but there is no way you can have an English team of 22 players and not being able to feature in at least one or two players of colored. It's definitely impossible. Definitely, definitely impossible. And and for us to be where we are right now, I don't think it's based on the disciplinary structure of the English coach. It's possibly the reason why we don't have players of colors in this particular squad. It has a lot to do with the change of the evolution of football in the female game. I mean, just think about the men's side having a 21-man squad with no player of color. And when you look at the Premier League, you can tell that a huge amount of black players that are of England descent. A yellow card has been awarded to another English player, Kelly, number 18. I don't know what's that for. It's possibly an obstruction of the game, as Australia is trailing, and they lost it to England again once more. Who is holding on to it? And they have nothing to lose. Let me look at Mariatu's comment. Maybe Africans' descent don't want to play the beautiful game because families have different perceptions of their young black kids playing football. Anyway, let's wait and see in the next few years. I would disagree with you on that, Mariatu, because over the past decades, we've seen a huge amount of African players of English and African descent that are playing in the game, and you have lots of them in the Premier League anyway, in the female Premier League. So how comes we don't have them to represent nationally? If we have them to play in the female Premier League, then they should be able to represent nationally. We have lots of them in Arsenal. We have lots of them in Chelsea. We have lots of them in the local clubs that we have in London. Not talking about the ones in the provincial town, but in London specifically, we have a huge amount of players of African descent or players of colored who are representing at the top flights of the female Premier League in the UK. It is practically impossible to have a full-blown 22-man squad with only two players of color. When you look at the Spanish team, they've got colored players there who are representing. And again, when you look at the other countries who are possibly likely not to have players of colors, they have players of color there representing. The whistle is gone. The whistle has gone. England has booked their place in the finals of the Female World Cup in Australia by knocking Australia out by 3 goals to 1. And this is definitely a challenge in the light of the Australians for losing to England, who has proven to be the better side of this match so far. Sam Kerr is going to be a very upsetting woman, and she's going to take it on, and it is part of the game. Winning and losing is also part of the game. The English coach is again here congratulating her side. And yes, Mariatu said, I believe racism is part of it. I am hitting it straight to the point. I totally agree with you on that, Mariatu. And definitely, if racism hasn't played a strong part of that particular side of the English game, then it is something else. So far, so good. England has made it to the final of the Female World Cup in Australia, and we are going to see the final being played on Sunday, as the third place is going to be played between and Australia and Sweden. That is going to be another interesting match to watch, because a silverware for Australia will be complementing for them as the host nation. England has now made it through to the final of the Female World Cup 2023 in Australia. A very hugely controversial side with only two players of mixed heritage and no player of a darker skin that was representing the English squad. And it's not just about representation, but all you can see is the blonde-eyed girls or blonde and blue players that are representing this England squad. And I think it's a very much controversial situation that they found themselves to be, as they have gone to the final of the Female World Cup. It doesn't really matter whether you like it or not, but I think these ladies has gave us a good game to watch, and I think they have proven to be a better side on this particular field of play today, and that's the reason why they are here to represent England. Even though the squad might seem to be a little bit controversial, but I think the team is capable and able to deliver for England. Thank you very much once more for that performance by the English team. And I'm just looking at the squad to see whether there is going to be any player of color, or any executive, or any team or supporting player, or any match official that will be of color. Definitely nothing at all. Very disgraceful for England as a nation that is full of ethnic minorities when it comes to sports, and we're yet to see no representation of color into the final squad of 22. It is a shame, it is disgraceful, but yet still they have performed to the best of their ability to go through to the final of the World Cup in Australia, hosted by the Australians and New Zealanders in this 2023 Female World Cup tournament. So I would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to everybody that is watching, and thank you guys for watching us today, and thank you for following us all the way through to the end. And today is a woman's affair, and we have all the contributions made by women. And definitely I will go back to Musa's prediction initially, and we have our own brother here, Desmond, who was possibly one of the very first few people that logged on. So Desmond, thank you very much for joining us. And I know you two have spent enough time in following the female game in Sierra Leone. And I believe for sure that your participation in the game has made a difference for women football in Sierra Leone. Continue to do your hard work and continue to keep on doing what you're doing best. Continue to push the game in the way you can. And I also see that you're actually bringing in some amount of coaching possibilities for Sierra Leoneans to go into some coaching exercise, which will benefit the game as well. Good luck to that one as well, and good luck to everything that you're doing in terms of female football in Sierra Leone and in terms of improving the men's game as well. So thank you very much, all the ladies, for joining me today. Thank you very much, Memuna. Thank you very much, Maria, too. And thank you for all your contribution. And thank you, Musa, for your prediction, but it didn't happen the way you said it. It was quite the opposite. And England extended that win by scoring another goal, which ended up to be goal number 3. So England won by 3-1, and we are definitely looking forward to the final between England and Spain. That is going to be an interesting match, because the Spanish have a black player who is their striker, and she's been scoring goals left, right, and center. So it is going to be a very interesting challenge to see whether the English defense will be able to stop her. Maybe for that reason alone, I might, just maybe might, not 110% sure, but just maybe might be supporting Spain on that day. But I don't know. I will not predict that yet, and I will not make a full confession on that yet. I will wait until the closest time to the match, or maybe the day itself is when I will make no declaration for who I will be supporting on that final. Um, I will be very happy to see the trophy being lifted by a black player of another nation that we were not expecting to be including players of color into their squad. That would be a disgrace for England, and I want that disgrace to follow through because, again, like I said, I'm not being racist, I'm not being partial, but I think there are a huge amount of players of color that has the potential to be amongst this English set of players that are representing England. And when you look at James and 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 and, and the defender who James and what's the name of the Qatar? When you look at James and Qatar, you can tell that there are more players who possibly have more potential in those areas. And James has proven to be one of the best players in England so far, but she's still not being utilized properly as an out and out first team player. We know she performed gracefully well over the past couple of games, but her performance against Nigeria was definitely not one that you want to see a repeat of. And she was given a red card on that match. And even though she was in control of the match, but she was under serious pressure. And that frustration is what led her to receive a red card. And she was sent out of play. And nothing has been spoken of her since. And she hasn't been returned back in the semi-finals of the match and the quarterfinals. Definitely she will miss that, but she shouldn't have missed this particular one. Maybe she will be featured in the final, but we're not too sure, as we've only seen one player of mixed race heritage that is representing the English squad, and James is the second, and she hasn't been on the first team lineup. So that is the controversy of the game. And final 5 a.m. USA ET time Sunday. Hopefully, I will be up to watch it by God's grace. Definitely, Memuna too. It would be nice to have you back again here on Sunday to be able to watch the match. I know it's 5 a.m. in the morning, USA time. It might be 8 o'clock in the morning UK time or 3 o'clock in the morning UK time. I'm not too sure. But I will find out exactly what time that match is going to be played, as I have missed a couple of matches based on the time and I wasn't able to track it down properly. But for this particular one, I'm definitely going to make it possible. Okay, I've just been told James was banned for 2 games. She should be back for the finals. Hopefully, she will play for the finals, and hopefully, we'll be able to see her once more. But definitely, Sam Kerr has proven to the world why she has been chosen to be possibly the best player of female football. And her goal was spectacular. She's very much courageous as she walks out of the pitch with the entire squad, as the England team is still celebrating on the pitch side in favor of their victory to their fans watching. So England, yes, has gone to the World Cup final, and we will be able to see an exclusive performance by both squad. Sweden was proven to be one of the best teams so far, and they were one of the favorites to win it. And now they are going to be knocking heads with England on Sunday, who are definitely going to be an obstacle for the Spanish. The Spanish are well much organized, determined. They've got a prolific goal scorer who is a player of color, and We're yet to see whether the English defenders are going to be able to stop her with her combination of driving from the right to the left. And most of her goals were scored in an out-and-out one-on-one, two, one-on-two, or one-on-three situation, just like the goal Sam Ska scored earlier on. So that is going to be the next challenge for England, and we might be watching the third place playoff, which is going to be on Saturday. And definitely England is going to regroup, relax, and maybe we'll possibly see an introduction of James again in the final. If James is not featured in the final, then questions should be asked whether this is a pure share of racism or a pure share of her not capable enough to be in the first team lineup. We know when she came on, she has scored 3 goals so far, and she was not a first team starter. After her first goal in the game that she came on, she became an automatic first team starter, and she scored 2 goals after that, which puts her in line among the highest goal scorers of the tournament so far. So what we have seen is a display of skills, perseverance, talent, and definitely um, defensive play by the English. And Australia has proven to be not a defensive side, and they've made a couple of bad errors that has cost them this tournament so far. Their defensive play has been weak. They are not composed, and if England was taking their chances, they would have scored more goals than what we have on the scoreline right now, because the Australians were not defensively disciplined enough to stop England from scoring goals. So thank you very much once for joining us, and thank you to all the contributions made online from Facebook and YouTube, and thank you, Mr. Walker, on the YouTube page for all your comments. And even though all of you guys were in support of England to win, I was also in support at the end, but with a huge amount of concerns over the squad. So I would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to all those watching us and to all the women online today. And kudos to you all for your contribution and all your support. I know you are supporting England and you want England to win this World Cup. I will be alongside you maybe, just about maybe, on Sunday when the final whistle is going to be blown for the 90 minutes to be played. So thank you once more for joining us, and we hope to see you again tonight as we have a program that is going to be talking to some of the reverends or particular reverend in Sierra Leone that wants to talk about so many issues regarding ex-service reverends in Sierra Leone and how they are looked after. So don't forget to join us tonight at 9 UK time, and we'll be able to discuss this program in details, and you can see or hear from the people who are behind this operation of making sure that reverends are going to be looked after their retirement or after the end of their service to the church. So thank you once more for joining us, and we hope to see you tonight, and have a brilliant afternoon, as I will be saying goodbye on behalf of the Sarah Jane Media team in the UK and America and Freetown. Have a nice day and goodbye.